I'm sorry I hadn't did the Passover, re- a time for redemption, the third, fourth, and fifth. Well, today was I think supposed to be the fifth. Well, I'm going to be doing 3, 4, and 5 today. Number 3, I'm not going to read my Bible or the passages out of my Bible. I will put them in the description box link or the description box below. A guide to celebrating Passover in your home. The Passover, which celebrates the exodus of the Jewish people from their bondage in Egypt under Pharaoh, is one of the festives that grounds Jewish life in history and tradition. You too can celebrate it with your family, friends, and neighbors as the Jewish people have celebrated from before the time of Jesus. The Haggadah, the Talmud, which has changed little over the centuries, is our guide to the Seder, the order of the ceremony. Just follow the steps below, and you will experience the blessing of gathering to celebrate the Passover, just as Jesus, the Messiah, gathered with his disciples at the Last Supper. The Passover involves two separate kinds of food: the Passover meal, and the special elements that are part of the ceremony: the bitter herbs, the parsley, the hard-boiled egg, the lamb shank, the matzah, the unleavened bread, the salt water, the corset, chopped apple and mixed nut, and nut mixture in the 4 cups. 3 pieces of matzah separated by a napkin or else placed in a special pouch called the matzah tash, or placed alongside the Seder plate. Lighting the candles. The woman of the house lights the candles, reciting the Passover blessing. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sacrificed us with his commandments and commanded us to kindle the festive candle. The 4 cups. Each of the 4 cups of Passover stands for one of the 4 I wills of Exodus, chapter 6, verses 6 through 7. Sanctification. I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. Judgment. I will rescue you from their bondage. Redemption. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm. Praise. I will take you as my people. The color red of the fruit of the vine reminds us the blood of the Lamb, which was applied to the doorposts and lintels of Jewish homes to avert the terrible judgment of the Lord upon the wickedness of Egypt. While drinking, we recline to the left to symbolize the freedom of our liberation from slavery. The first cup, the cup of sanctification. The leader of the Seder offers the blessing: Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. All partake of this cup. The parsley. All dip greens in the salt water. The greens symbolize the plant used to brush the blood of the lamb upon the Jewish homes at the first Passover, and the salt water represents the tears shed by the Jewish people while in bondage. The breaking of the Matzo. The middle matzah is removed from the napkins or matzah tash is broken in half. One half is wrapped up in a cloth napkin and hidden for the children to search for during the dinner. The remaining half is replaced in the matzah tash. The 4 questions of Passover. An introductory question is asked. Why is this night different from all other nights? This is an invitation to tell why the Passover is so meaningful. The following questions are one of the most well-established centerpieces of the Passover celebration. They are usually asked by the youngest child at the table. On all nights we eat either leavened or unleavened bread. Why on this night do we eat only matzah, unleavened bread? On all nights we eat vegetables and herbs of all kinds. Why on this night do we eat only bitter herbs? On all nights we never drink of dipping herbs in water or in anything else. Why on this night do we dip the parsley in salt water and the bitter herbs in charioset? On all nights we eat either sitting upright or reclining. Why on this night do we all recline? The Madigan telling of the story. In reply to the 4 questions, the Passover narrative is read from Exodus chapter 12 verses 1 through 13, placing special emphasis upon the essentials of the Passover: the lamb, the unleavened bread, the bitter herbs, and the manner in which the children of Israel were instructed to eat the Passover meal. The 10 plagues. The second cup is filled, and the 10 plagues that the Lord visited upon Egypt are now recited in unison. The participants in the Seder spill a drop from the second cup for each plague. This represents the belief that we must have compassion for our enemies, and our joy is the embellishment by remembering the Egyptians' suffering. The second cup, the cup of judgment. We partake together of the second cup with the traditional blessing. See first cup above, which is the prayer. I don't remember where the first cup. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. The Mizah. The leader of the Seder evaluates the unity of the 3 pieces of matzah. Then he breaks olive-sized pieces from the top and middle matzahs and distributes them to the others. After the following prayer, they are eaten. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments, and it commands us concerning the eating of the unleavened bread. The mire, bitter herbs. Everyone dips a small piece of matzah into the mire and eats after the following blessing. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us with his commandments and command us concerning the eating of bitter herbs. The charioset, mortar. A small piece of matzah is dipped into the charioset, a mixture of finely chopped apples, nuts, honey, and cinnamon, which symbolizes the mortar with which the children of Israel fashioned the bristles for Pharaoh's building projects. The matzah is eaten. I'm not going to try to pronounce this word. The Passover dinner. Dinner is served. It may be as simple as chicken, potatoes, and cooked carrots. Matzo ball soup is a common dish. Adventurous cooks may want to find a Jewish cookbook and try Jewish recipes from around the world. Throughout the dinner, the children search for the piece of matzah that was previously hidden. The hidden matzah. After the meal, the hidden matzah is presented by the fortunate boy or girl who has found it. The leader of the Seder redeems it with a gift of money. It is then broken, distributed, eaten. This, together with the third cup, forms the basics of the Lord's Supper. The third cup is consumed with the appropriate blessing. Blessed art thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. This cup is a reminder of the shed blood of the Passover lamb that purchased our redemption from slavery. Elijah's place. Throughout the evening, one place at the table has been left unoccupied. This is Elijah's place, and the door is now open to see if he will enter and bring with him the long-awaited Messiah of Israel. Shank, bone, and egg. The shank, bone, and egg symbolizes of sacrifices that are no longer offered because of the destruction of the temple, or reference for the sake of their previous presence of the Passover plate. The fourth cup, the cup of praise. As the Passover is brought to conclusion, the blessing is said, and the fourth cup is taken, while the following phrase is said in unison: next year in Jerusalem. Thoroughly modern. Number 4 is the Passover recipes. This one is thoroughly modern Matzo balls. You can't play golf with them. You can't play tennis, and you certainly can't go bowling with them, or at least you are not supposed to. Matzo balls, pronounced matza, not matzo, a traditional Passover delicacy, are supposed to be so light and fluffy that although they are served as an appetizer, they almost float away before the meal. Everyone has an opinion on matzo balls. Who makes the lightest and fluffiest? We want to share a secret recipe that will help you win any matzo ball opinion survey hands down. Of course, you start the matzo meal, you can buy it. You can make your own by running pieces of matzo through a food processor until they make a fine flour, or you can pick up a package of Minascosia matzo ball mix. For this falling asleep. In a small bowl, lightly beat 4 eggs together with 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Blend in 1 cup of matzo meal, about 2 teaspoons of salt, and a bit of garlic and onion powder to taste. Then add the secret ingredients: 1/4 cup of club soda or seltzer. The bubbles are what makes the matzo ball so light. The mixture needs to rest. Cover it in the refrigerator for 15 minutes. While the matzo ball mixture is resting, bring about 3 quarts of chicken soup or stock to a brisk boil. Now wet your hands and begin to form the matzo ball mix into 1-inch balls. But it's really important that you don't squeeze them. Remember, the key word is light and fluffy, so be gentle. You should have about 16 matzo balls. Don't worry if you have a few more or less. Reduce the heat and drop the matzo balls one by one into the boiling soup. Cover the pot lightly and cook for about 30 minutes. Serve them nice and hot, 2 or 3 per person. Between the bubbles and the club soda and your gentle, loving touch informing them, I guarantee that you'll have the latest, fluffiest matzo balls on the block. Enjoy. Passover Tzimmes. 1 pound carrots, 5 sweet potatoes, 1/2 cup pitted prunes, 1/2 cup honey, 1 cup orange juice, 1 tablespoon cinnamon. Tzimmes is a wonderful, sweet, delicious vegetable dish served at Passover. It's such a mushy mixture of taste that it has come to be an expression in the Jewish vocabulary and don't make such a tabazing sweet, meaning don't mix things up, make such a big deal. To make Passover tagines, first preheat the oven to 350 degrees, then peel and chop the carrots and sweet potatoes into 1-inch pieces. Cook them together in a large pot of water for about 15 minutes over medium heat until they are a little tender but still firm. Then mix in the prunes and put the whole tomato in a casserole dish and in a separate bowl. Mix together the honey, orange juice, and cinnamon and pour over the vegetable mix. Cover and bake for about 30-45 minutes. Take off the cover, stir and bake for another 10 minutes or so until all the vegetables are so nice and soft. These taste better if you refrigerate it overnight, but be sure to reheat it in a very slow cooker. Serve 6 to 8. Enjoy. Chocolate macaroons. What's a meal without dessert? Every Jewish mother loves the excitement that follows when dessert is finally revealed, but on Passover we need to be a little more creative. These chocolate macaroons, sort of like cookies, only better, are sure to bring smiles to your Passover table. 3 egg whites, 1 cup sugar, 1/3 cup cocoa butter, unsweetened, 2 cups shredded coconut, unsweetened. Do you really want me to throw this book at you? Oh, and if y'all hear a voice in the background, like over that direction, that's my mom. And she was supposed to help me with this video. She's letting me sit here and mess these words up. So I'm blaming her for this. Ow. I did a little karate chop to my neck. Ow. Shut up. Just no. You was laughing. You was gonna laugh. And I'm gonna put the recipes in the description. Or no, I can't do that because I only have 5,000 words to put down there. I'll put the names of the recipes and y'all can look them up. I can't do what they're supposed to do. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, just a pinch of salt. First mix the sugar and cocoa together. Then in a separate bowl, see what I'm doing. Beat the egg whites, adding the pinch of I was about to say sugar. The pinch of salt until stuffed peaks begin to form. Slowly sprinkle the sugar and cocoa mixture and blend into the egg whites. Then fold in the coconut and vanilla extract. That's it. Now line a baking sheet with parchment paper and drop the mixture by spoonfuls about an inch apart. Bake them for about 15-20 minutes at 350 degrees and then share a few. Makes about 3-4 dozen. Mama, if we ever make the chocolate macaroons, we'll be knee high probably in them. Mama. Coconut macaroons. Ha! I pronounced it right. I hate when my legs start cramping. Oh, great. If you're invited to a Passover Seder this year, you'll be the favorite guest if you bring along a batch or two of these light and fabulous coconut macaroons kosher for Passover. They're super easy to make. You'll need 2 egg whites, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I can't talk. A pinch of salt, 2/3 cup of sugar, 1/3 cup of coconut flakes. All you do is beat the egg whites, vanilla, and salt until soft peaks form. Then very slowly sprinkle in the sugar, just a little at a time. Then gently fold in the coconut with a spatula. That's it. Now drop spoonfuls up onto a greased cookie sheet and bake in a preheat oven at 350 degrees for 20 minutes. Makes about 2 dozen. Enjoy. My neck. Holiday cranberry mold serves 6 to 8 ingredients. Family size packet of raspberry jello box. I really don't like raspberry, but I'm pretty sure it could be any kind, right? Whole cranberry sauce, 1 can, 14 ounce, crushed. Okay, maybe not. Just use the raspberry jello. Crushed pineapple, 1 can, 14 ounce, strained. Walnuts chopped, 1/2 cup. Pineapple juice, 1/2 cup. Directions: boil 2 cups of water and add dry jello mix. Add crushed pineapple. Add cranberry sauce. Add 1 cup of cold water and 1/2 cup of pineapple juice. Add mixture into a mold. Refrigerate for 1 day. When ready to serve, dip mold in warm water and flip onto a placemat. And flip to place on a plate. Flourless chocolate espresso cake. Oh, and if you see like a dark shadow kind of moving, that's the voice in the background moving around. But I have to love the voice in the background. I don't care how gross she gets at me. I still love her. Okay, the flourless chocolate espresso cake. Ingredients: 3 tablespoons unsalted butter plus more to grease pan. 6 ounces bittersweet chocolate chopped. 6 large eggs separated at room temperature. 1 cup granulated sugar. Thank you. Yes, I have the book where she can see what I'm trying to read.
I don't have to see water.
Smart Alec. 3 tablespoons instant espresso powder. 1/4 teaspoon coarse salt. 1 tablespoon vanilla extract and parchment paper. Chocolate espresso sauce. 3 ounce bittersweet chocolate chop. 1/2 tablespoons unsalted butter. 2 teaspoons vanilla extract. 1/3 cup heavy cream. 1/3 cup of the sugar that I had mentioned earlier that I can't pronounce. Granulated sugar. 1 tablespoon instant espresso powder. 1/4 teaspoon of coarse salt.
What kind of salt?
COARSE.
Coarse.
Coarse. There's no U in it.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, preheat oven to 350 degrees using parchment paper. Trace the removable bottom of a 9-inch spring form pan and cut to fit. Return bottom to the spring form pan and grease the pan with butter. Place the parchment cutout over the bottom of the pan. Melt butter and chocolate in a double boiler or heat-proof bowl. Set over a pan of simmering water. Set aside. With a mixture. Beat egg yolks with 1/2 cup sugar until thick and pale. About 3 minutes. Add espresso and salt and beat for 1 minute. Add vanilla and melted chocolate mixture and beat for 1 minute. In a separate clean bowl, beat egg whites until foamy. Slowly add remaining 1/2 cup sugar, beating until stuff peaks form. Fold whites into chocolate mixture in 3 addition. Pour batter into a prepared pan. Bake until set 40-45 minutes. Let cool completely in a pan on a rack. Remove pan sides carefully. Lift cake with a spatula and remove parchment. Make the sauce. Place chocolate, butter, and vanilla in a bowl. Bring remaining ingredients to a boil, stirring and pour over the chocolate mixture. Whisk until smooth. Serve sauce warm over cake. Okay. Day 5. The removal of leaven. During Passover, observant Jewish people refrain from eating leaven. The tradition comes from God's commandment to Israel in the Torah. For 7 Torah. For 7 days, no leaven should be found in your houses, since whoever eats what is leavened, that same person shall be cut off from the congregation of Israel, congregation of Israel, whether he is a stranger or a native of the land. Ye shall not eat nothing leavened. In all your dwelling places you shall eat unleavened bread. Exodus chapter 12 verses 19 through 20. As Jewish people prepare for Passover, each family removes the leaven from their home. Then, during a ceremony called Bid'akat Matzah, every traditional household conducts a final search for leaven throughout the house, gathers it together, and burns it, after which the house is kosher for Passover. Isn't kosher salt?
It's 2 different meanings.
Paul used this Jewish practice as the background to his discussion in 1 Corinthians chapter 5 verses 6 through 8. Your glorying is not good. Do you not know that a little leaven leavens the whole lump? Therefore purge out the old leaven, that you may be a new lump, since you truly are unleavened. For indeed Christ our Passover was sacrificed for us. Therefore let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, nor with the leaven of malice and wickedness, but with the malice and wickedness. Thank you. Malice and wickedness, but with the unleavened bread of serenity and truth. At the time, the believing community of Corinth was tolerated of gross immorality. Paul compares sin to leaven and commands the congregation at Corinth, 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 to clean out the sin from within their mindset in their midst. In the same way, the Jewish community removes leaven from their homes during Passover, just as leaven permits an eternal lump of dough. Sinful behavior affects the entire life of an individual in congregation. That's what I was saying. Congregation. Oh, great, I can't. Okay, if the congregation at Corinth did not deal with the wicked behavior in their midst, then this behavior would defile the whole community. When making kahal, Challah, this paragraph, the making of challah.
That's why I told you, study it and pronounce everything before you do it.
Mom, even if I was to study it, I still have a hard time when I'm going to make the video. Have a messed up time saying the word. The traditional Jewish bread for Shabbat, a small amount of yeast is added to the dough, and this bit of yeast leavens the entire loaf of bread. In the same way, sin affects a person's entire life. We cannot compartmentalize our lives and isolate sin in a particular area so that it does not affect the other areas of our lives. God created us as hostile people, and we deceive ourselves when we think the small or hidden sins in our lives will not affect the areas of our soul. Even small and hidden sins will permeate and cord our entire being. As Paul wrote, the reason we must remove the wicked behavior from our lives is that our Messiah was sacrificed like a Passover lamb to remove our unrighteousness. Therefore, we should pursue righteousness since our Messiah has removed the leaven from our lives. Paul describes people with leaven as depraved and wicked, whereas people who are pure in motives and upright in character have no leaven. The unleavened person does not have a hidden or secret life. The preparation for Passover can remind us to think about the unrighteousness behaviors we tolerate in our lives. If we tolerate immoral thoughts or actions, they will begin to affect our spiritual lives and ultimately destroy our lives. If we are serious about honoring God and having a healthy spiritual life, then we cannot tolerate the hidden and secret sins. In the spirit of Passover, let us remove the sin from our lives so that we are kosher for Passover. Tomorrow, which is going to be day 6, will be the origins of the bread, of the leavened bread. Saturday will be why we eat horseradish at Passover. 8 is which will be Sunday, first fruits of the resurrection.